Hey there, it's Jenny from Southern Savers. It's our Monday night Q&A, which is your chance to ask any questions that you have, saving money, couponing, tonight, budgeting, whatever really that has been tricking you up or causing you issues, this is your chance. So that's always the fun part about Q&A is hearing what y'all's questions are. Sometimes it's Stump Jenny. So ask your questions in the comments and I will get to them and try to answer all of them. If I miss them, then hopefully, my husband will catch them or someone else can answer too, but try my hardest to stay on top of it and to be able to catch everything. So I'm still trying to even get them to load right now. So this is week 2 of trying to use a different platform. Week 1 kind of worked well. We had a few glitches on the YouTube side. So hopefully for everyone, it's gonna go well overall as I get more and more used to it. So that's always the hard part is figuring it out as we get used to everything. So I will try to stay in on the comments though and make sure that we are going to catch everything. So what I wanted to talk about tonight was budgeting. And budgeting is one of those where none of us loves it. No one gets excited at the idea of needing to sit down and make a budget or having to follow a budget. That's never the fun part. But it is incredibly necessary. I taught a budgeting class in October actually in Atlanta, and that's all I did was just talked budgeting and started by saying you can't cook a cake without a recipe, and you really shouldn't expect your finances to just magically get under control without a budget. It's just not going to happen. So if you're, cutting corners and trying to cut coupons and save on the grocery budget, if I'm not really watching everywhere, I really have nothing. The other thing that I want to hit on before we even jump into budgeting is the fact that I find a lot of folks that start to coupon, they're trying to bring down how much they're spending on groceries, but they really aren't even setting a budget for themselves, even in groceries. They're just trying to save money, but they're not really thinking about what that total is going to come to in the end. So, for example, if you look at the videos that I do on Wednesday of what we spend in the grocery store, I still have a goal. I'm still trying to not spend more than 50 to 70 bucks a week. Yes, I could go in and I could get a ton of things that are 25 cents a piece, but that adds up. So you got to still have a point where you say, you know what, it doesn't matter how cheap it is. If there's no more money to buy it, I'm not going to buy it. And so there are some folks in couponing land that need to turn themselves off. You need to have a point where you realize the goal here is to save money and to not spend money I don't have. So if you're one of those and you're saying, I'm buying a bunch of stuff. I used to hear this a lot. I'm buying a bunch of stuff, but I'm still spending the same amount of money that I always spent. That would be my first thing is, okay, well, when is the turnoff button? When have you hit your budget and you're going to say, we're good? Because if the pantry is stocked, then you really might be there. You might need to have that, break that you can put on and say, no more grocery shopping this week. We've hit our budget. So that's really what I want folks to see as we go through all of this. So to jump into questions really quick before we go into budget mode. Jenny says she picked up her first Zaycon chicken today. Yay! I hope you've already done the work and gotten it put away. We pick up our Zaycon order on Wednesday this week. So I'm looking forward to having chicken again because we are out of boneless, skinless chicken breasts. It is going to be a good thing to have back in the freezer. We've never pushed it this tight before, but we ran out last week. So I'm kind of glad that this is Zaycon week. Anna says, I have a couponing question. I'm a huge Costco believer, but started to wonder if the bundle price is better than, say, couponing on diapers, wipes, chicken, etc. So Anna, warehouses in general, bundle huge packages is probably one of the 3 big myths of of saving money that couponing is going to break. So that being that the bigger the package, the more money I'm going to save to buy that package. And that's really not the case. More often than not, I'm going to get a better price and a cheaper end price buying the smaller package because my coupon is good on any size. I don't need that massive pack of diapers I need little packs of diapers and I need to use a coupon on each one of them. So instead of buying a case of diapers in your diaper example, I could buy 3 jumbo packs and use 3 coupons. The other reason for buying the smaller packs is that they tend to go on sale where the really huge packs don't. So that's one example, but paper towels, toilet paper, they all fit the mix. So for me, I'm looking at getting a 12 double roll pack of toilet paper really for never more than $3.50. So if you were to compare that in the warehouse clubs, are you getting toilet paper around 50 cents a roll or less? Or sorry, that's not even 50 cents a roll. That's more like 25 cents a roll. You know, are you hitting that 25 cent mark? Then I don't know that you would be. I'm not a warehouse girl because of that. So it may not be the answer that you want in the end. Okay. Wow, we've got lots of questions. So Shanna, I am on. I don't know if that helps you. If you aren't seeing me, that won't help. But hopefully everyone else is seeing our this image, so and not just a still screen. And hello, Kelly from Louisiana. We've got folks from all over the place tonight. Sheila, what kind of virus software do I use? We use Avast. Avast is free, I think. I'm looking at my husband across the table. Yes, Avast is free and works great. So running a couponing site and not only my laptop, my husband's laptop, we've never had issues with it. And Zaycon orders. Yes. So Stephanie, they don't always fill up. I know the chicken sold out pretty fast for the March pickups. You can't get in on March pickups pretty much in any city right now since they're all this week and next week. But if you're wanting the June chicken order and the sale that's running right now, you probably don't have to jump in on it right now if you don't have the money. You could probably hold out and order that up until maybe the beginning of May. But it will be full by the time June rolls around. So don't wait too long on that one with Zaycon. Okay, let's jump in to budgeting for a bit, and then we'll jump back to questions. So I promise I will get to the questions. We'll just start to kind of make a list so I don't miss anybody's. But I do want to make sure that we hit on all the things that I had planned for us. So I pulled a number of different apps, and we've been playing with them and trying them out over the last few months so that I could kind of have a really good feel on pros and cons of different ones. So that's what we're going to go through is just some different apps that you could be using, different programs that you could be using to help you manage your budget. Do you have to use one in general? No. There is actually a really great, Dave Ramsey just has a simple budget sheet that you can fill out, and I'll stick that here in the comments in just a second. But it's free. You can just print it out and you can go to town in a sense on filling out all of the little lines that he has there. Now, Dave Ramsey also has, his every dollar system that is not free. So we don't really want to go there quite yet, and we'll talk about it. But in terms of the budgeting system, you can totally start with those PDFs. So we're going to stick those in the comments in just a second. What this really is, the gist of what we're trying to get in a budget is what is coming in and what is going out. I mean, if we really want to break it down into 2 simple categories, that's what it is. How much are you making and how much are you spending? So the spending part, obviously, that's where we start to want to narrow things down because we really want to get a feel for how painful that is. If you're hitting a mark where you're spending $700 a month on groceries, that makes me want to cry. This past weekend, actually camping out with a whole bunch of other families. A lot of folks know what I do. And so one mom pulled me aside and said, we're spending between $700 and $900 a month. They have 5 children like we do. And I did. I said, okay, well, great. Let's figure out a time that we can get together because that's way too painful. We have to be able to bring that down. So if you're not budgeting or you're not even sitting down and looking at your finances, though, you have no clue where that's going and what that looks like in terms of all those little buckets. So that's kind of the number one reason to really map that out. So to start on one side, what's coming in? That's the easy side. For most of us, it doesn't change. Your payroll is the same amount every pay period. If you are commission-based, you need to look at how much you made last year, and you need to divide that by 12. Never go in on the how much I make with it's not a hopeful category. I don't want to factor in a bonus that I don't have. We don't count our chickens before they hatch. All those lovely sayings, that applies here. So we look at last year's numbers. We don't look at how much we hope to make this year. We divide by 12. So if you're commission based, that's going to give you an idea of how much you have a month. But the rest of us, you know how much you're getting a month, and that needs to be your income side. If you have other streams of income, you can factor that into. I would encourage you, if both you and your husband are working, or, you have 2 incomes in the house, that we're saving one and we're spending one. That needs to really be the ultimate goal, that we're trying to save. Half is great, but even 15% if you can, chunking that aside every single month. So we've got that income side set apart. And then we got the other side, which is how much it's going. In terms of sitting down and looking at that, your monthly bills, those are very easy. So what's really going to give you kind of that eye-opening experience is what's not a monthly bill. It's not the electricity bill and the mortgage that probably don't change very much. It is your discretionary. How much am I spending at the grocery store? How much is going towards gas? All of those little things that add up that we don't really think about when we just swipe our card and don't always write down what that amount is. So that is the number one reason that you should be making a budget and looking at your finances, even if it's once a month, looking and seeing how bad was this, and getting a glimpse on it. So and Jeannie's even chiming in on that. So, budget, we want to talk base pay on income, no overtime, no bonuses. Exactly. So never hopeful on your income, never hopeful. It's not a pretty picture. We want to look at worst case scenario, because best case scenario, that is savings. That's what we're going to put aside. So we've got that income side. Now we want to deal with what's going out. So putting in a link to the Dave Ramsey, to the Dave Ramsey forms. And if you pull that up when we're done with the video, you can print them out. They're really easy to use, and it's going to help you get an idea of what those categories need to be, so that you can get a feel for where you're going. But we're not talking a lot here. It's very simple. What are you spending on clothing? What are you spending on food, transportation, that kind of items? And remember that we want to have kind of some goals set aside. So I'm creating a budget so that maybe I can save more to go on vacation, or I can save to retire. So in the end, I don't want you to look at this as like I'm in trouble and I need to get myself out of trouble, but maybe you put this in a mindset of, I want to reach something that right now I don't feel like is reachable. And so we're going to budget so that we can reach that. We're going to set that goal aside and hopefully obtain it. So when you look at these categories and you're trying to go through it on paper, you can totally do that. In a spreadsheet, you can do that. So don't feel like you need an app. As I switch here to different apps that I would recommend, I would say, we can go very, very basic, and don't feel like an app is required. That said, there is one app that is completely free. And that's where I would point you first. So if you're saying, you know what, I don't want to sit here and do this on paper. I kind of want something that's going to hold my hand through it. That's really why we're going to talk programs. And I would point you to Mint. Mint has been around for a long time. It's owned by Intuit, who owns TurboTax, and it is completely free. And with that, it doesn't have as many bells and whistles as some of the other programs, but price-wise, it's massive in savings over, we go Dave Ramsey, which is $100 a year. Mint is free. So yeah, it may not do the reporting or some other feature that you're wanting, but free is pretty sweet. Some of the things that Mint does that others don't do, Mint will pull in your banking information from your, the transactions that you're making, and have them ready for you to sit there and say, yes, that's what that is. Yes, that's what it is. And it will also go ahead and kind of guess what it thinks it is if you've already done that before. So if it's a regular expense, it's ready to file it in a particular spot for you, which, by the way, some of the apps that are out there that we've been playing with that cost money don't do that. And so month after month, you're still having to sit there and assign what that transaction is. That gets really old, and it makes you not want to do it on a regular basis. So Mint does that. It is free. So just to emphasize, what Mint doesn't do, to give you pros and cons on both, it does not give you a budget that is set in stone. And this actually drove my husband crazy, because if you wanted to sit there and make a set in stone budget, but then next month your electricity bill was more, it kind of pads that and it extends the budget because last month you went over. So it's kind of constantly fluctuating, more to tell you, I guess, what your average spending is, but not to tell you like, whoa, you spent too much. It's not so good at alerting you to that, because it is constantly changing what that budget number was based on what you spent. So here come December, the electricity bill could make somebody cry. Well, in January, you're looking great because it's not as bad as it once was the month before, but it's not keeping you set in a straight budget amount. So that is where, that's probably the only con that we had in Mint. I should make my husband come and sit in here too, because he uses these sometimes more than I do in paying bills and keeping track of things. But that was one of his complaints. Another one is reporting, and it doesn't give you, flat out detailed hardcore reports like some of the not free versions do, but it's free. So, if I didn't get that point across, that's the one I would start on. Shanna's saying, I use a template that I made in Numbers, which is a spreadsheet, and that's perfect. That's free. So if you are a spreadsheet person and you're cool with keeping it up on yourself, do that. But some people, Shanna, they just like the whole, I just click buttons and it auto pulls in from the bank. So that's where, taking the step up from the spreadsheet to Mint might be the way to go for some folks. It's not going to hold you any more accountable. You still have to open it. You still have to, either open the app or go to the website to actually see where your budget is, but it is going to do a little bit of the work for you, kind of auto filling in some of those expenses into where they have gone in the past. Now, the first month, you're going to have to assign those things out. It'll do some guessing, but it won't just automatically guess for you. But hopefully that will help some of you guys. Let's see. I'm going to jump into some questions and then we'll go on to a few other apps as well. Chelsea says, what is Zaycon? So talking about our chicken, Zaycon, Chelsea, ZayconFresh.com is a company that sells bulk meat and they deliver all over the United States. This week they're delivering chicken to most of the Southeast. So we will all get 40 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breasts with coupons. A lot of us can get it for $1.29 a pound. Those of you who are brand new can get it for 99 cents a pound. So it's a super, super good price compared to the grocery store. That is the short answer, Chelsea, on what Zaycon is. And most of us grab the boneless, skinless chicken breasts from Zaycon the first time. So that's kind of their gateway meat, I guess, is the way that I usually put it. It gets you hooked. And then you keep coming back for other things. So we've gotten their bacon. We've gotten, what else have we gotten? Ground beef, lots of things from them. So, and I will stick a link here, in just a second. If you're curious, there is a coupon that's running right now since we're talking Zaycon. And we just posted it earlier today, but I will, I'm going to look up all their current codes really fast so I can tell you correctly what they all are. What is today? Oh, there's a ton that end today. I don't even know that I can get all these in. I'll just type them all in here. So most of these are for new orders or new users. So just keep that in mind. But Fresh 2018 is probably your way to go. You're going to save 21% off of a whole bunch of things. Our boneless, skinless chicken breasts on Fresh 2018. There's Strip 2018 that's going to save 22% off the Kansas City strips. There's Ham 2018. I mean, these aren't very creative. Ham 2018 is going to save 23% off ham. I don't really know how they come up with these weird amounts. These all end tonight. No pressure. And a lot of these are only good on new orders. Let me see if I can find one that's good on existing orders. Come on, Zaycon. Give us one. Give us a good one. Nope. Everything is on new orders. So for those of us who are current Zaycon users, there are no codes for us right now. But if you've never used it before, Fresh 2018 is your big one for saving on chicken, which is probably your gateway meat. So let's just start with that one. But think of the name of what you're ordering, roast 2018, strip 2018, ham 2018. That's the code for most of them, as long as you've never ordered before. And those all end tonight. So hopefully that will help if you are curious and wanting to order. But obviously you've got a little bit of pressure on needing to order tonight to be able to use those. Let's see. So Paige has a thank you on a deal. I just got a food saver today. I got a really great price at Bed Bath & Beyond after the manufacturer's coupons, the 20% off, and the gift card that I got for using points on my credit card. She paid $83. I had been saving up Ibotta rebates, so only paid the tax after that, all of that. So it made my day. Thanks, Paige. That's awesome. I'm glad that you were able to do it. I know some folks said that they had issues with manufacturer's coupons at Bed Bath & Beyond, but I'm glad that they let you. I was pretty sure that hopefully that was going to work out well. I've used them before there too. And Sandy, yes, I do use Groupon. Groupon is a great way to get some sweet discounts when you're traveling. You're looking for things to do entertainment-wise, sometimes dining out, but usually for us it's entertainment-wise. We've done, the little double-decker bus tours around New York and grabbed a Groupon for that in the past. But usually when we travel, Groupon is our go-to. And yes, Tammy, you're spelling that right. Zaycon is Z-A-Y-C-O-N. Okay, let's see. So to jump back, Jeannie is also saying American Express tracks expenses by category, and I'm amazed at what we spend eating out. So that is one option. If you don't want to go with a budget app, if you did completely pay for everything with a credit card, that's actually how we work. We don't use a debit card anymore anywhere, just with all the security, and I don't really want my checking account drained. So using a credit card everywhere you go, if you've got a credit card that's going to send you that monthly breakdown of where things were spent, in a sense, that's kind of giving you that glimpse of your budget. But even for some folks, you don't need this on a once a month basis, or that credit card bill could really blow your world. So that's where coming in and going with Mint or some of these other programs that's going to pull in those transactions on a regular basis, not just when the bill comes, but on a regular basis, is going to help you keep tabs on that, possibly a little bit closer than once a month when things got very out of hand. But that is a great recommendation. Barbara, we use Zaycon ground beef. We've never had an issue with it. I will say this last order was the first order that we've done that is their 1 pound, everything's frozen individually. And that was definitely different. As we cook it, it tastes fine. It just seems a little strange and has taken kind of some getting used to. And the fact that it looks a little different than the other ground beef, but taste-wise, I've been very happy with it. And we do the 93% as well that Tracy said that they use. So we get the super lean ground beef. Let's see. So to jump back, lots of comments tonight on everything. Just trying to make sure I stay up on it all. No, Kim, we don't. I don't use my debit card at all. I don't even carry it with me. And if I were to try to go to the ATM, I don't even know my PIN anymore. That possibly got us into a little bit of trouble in Canada a few years ago when we just needed $5 to get a cab and we couldn't even remember a PIN on anything. So yeah, we don't use one. We just use credit cards. And we pay them off every month. So, not to sound completely irresponsible on that, but I do that for two reasons. And it may seem a little crazy to some of you, but if you can pay it off every month, then you're really not putting yourself in a bad spot. For us, we do it for security. If somebody were to use our credit card fraudulently, you are held liable for a lot less than you are from your checking account. We have had just family issues with that had to involve lawyers on sister-in-law sides because of people using accounts fraudulently. So don't really want to deal with that from the banking standpoint. So we've gone credit cards 100% for that, but also the points and the perks of using a credit card. So using a Marriott card for business expenses, using an airlines card for personal care expenses means I can fly places and sleep places and not spend any money to do that. So that's pretty sweet. And that is why we do that. So if folks are asking like, how in the world can you do that? That is how. So yeah. And Nona's saying if you use a debit card, you should have two that are not linked. One you use to pay for the purchases with your card and the other to pay the bills. Oh, to keep the bulk of your cash. That's a good idea. So you kind of have yours set aside so that if that money was taken, you could still pay your mortgage and whatnot. Exactly. Because I've got to wait for that money to come back in. Now, I'm getting sidetracked. So to come back onto the budgeting side, that at least gives you an idea of how we're doing it and why we do it that way. So we talked Mint already, and if you jumped in late, you can always zoom back when we're done and listen to the Mint section. Mint is free. Beyond Mint, there are some options that are free, but they're really not free. So whenever I mention Dave Ramsey's and I say it's $99 a year, folks jump on me because Dave Ramsey has a lot of very loyal followers. But guys, you would never use Dave Ramsey's every dollar free version. None of us would. You would give up in a heartbeat because the free version of Dave Ramsey's program doesn't auto bring in any bank accounts. You have to manually enter every transaction into it. And no one's going to do that. I might as well use a spreadsheet because that's basically what I'm having to do, but it's going to take me longer than entering information in a spreadsheet. So nobody is sticking with the free version of every dollar. If they are, they really should switch to Mint because you're doing way more work than you need to be doing just to use a Dave Ramsey product. Instead, you're going to end up paying that $99, which to me is incredibly steep. It's actually the most expensive of all of the various programs that are out there. So I would encourage you to say, yes, it has Dave's name on it, and that's great, but Dave's name is going to cost you a lot of money. So let's kind of look somewhere else versus going straight to that program. So one, if we want to kind of, go in like a progression, we started with free Mint. The next one that I would say to at least check out is called Count About. And I can stick in a link to it if you're curious, but it's just countabout.com. And Count About, it has a free 15-day trial. It costs $40 a year. So it's already a good 60% cheaper than Dave. It's $40 a year. But the interesting part on this one is, let's say you started with Mint and you said, that's great, but I really do want more reports, or I really do want a hardcore budget that doesn't flex, which is what I told you is our one kind of con on Minted. So Countabout has kind of fixed some of those things, but the neat thing that it does, it actually lets you import all your data from Mint or from Quicken if you're using Quicken on the computer. So you really could start here and then upgrade in a sense if you wanted to move to Countabout. It again is $40 a year. And it does sync with your local banks as well. So you can kind of keep all that going, but you can bring in your data from Mint if you wanted. It does have a hardcore budget in the sense that you set it and it sticks. And it does have some more reporting than Mint has. Review-wise, it has a number of folks that like it. I haven't seen a lot of cons on it. I did not spend a lot of time playing with that one because it only has a 15-day trial period. For me, it was hard to get everything set up and really get a feel for it in 15 days. That would probably be my only con. The one that I gave the most time to is YNAB, which is You Need a Budget, but YNAB is their website. And I've mentioned that in the past as well when we've talked budgeting. So YNAB has a 34-day free trial, and they say it's because they want you to get through a whole month cycle and have a few extra days to decide. But it is on the pricier side to me. So it's $83.99 a year after your 34-day trial. And that's steep. We're up in Dave Ramsey mode at that point at basically $84 a year. All of these, you'll notice they never tell you the yearly amount. They always tell you the monthly amount because $6.99 a month doesn't sound painful, but $84 sounds painful. Once we stop and we start to think this is a yearly expense at $84 a month, that's painful. But there are a lot of folks that love YNAB. So it is going on Dave's principles. They basically are taking that concept of every dollar has a job, which is Dave's quote. They are not using Dave's words because that would be against the law. Dave's copyrighted and trademarked it all. But using that same concept to where every dollar still has a job, there isn't a miscellaneous category left over. Every single thing is put into a section. Leftover is put into savings. That's the goal. So you can use YNAB. You can use every dollar. They're about the same. Or a third option that's a little cheaper is called Good Budget, and that is goodbudget.com. And Good Budget is also using Dave's envelope system. So it is only $50 a year. So kind of giving you three options there. Good Budget is $50. YNAB is $84 basically, and Dave is $100. So kind of there's your breakdown on all three, all following that Dave Ramsey concept. But hopefully one of those might fit for you. Last option I wanted to give you, and then we'll just jump into some tips and back into questions. I know I can see them coming in, is actually Quicken, to go old school. So I have no doubt that some of us, I used to use Quicken probably 10 plus years ago. It's still there. It still exists. And it is a great option for you. Intuit still, puts out a new version. Right now, I will say if you head to quicken.com, it happens to be 40% off right now. So you can get it for $29 a year, which beats every single one of the other paid for apps and programs that I just mentioned. So I feel like it would be wrong to not mix them in. They actually probably are going to blow everybody's reporting out of the water. Quicken's got crazy good reporting, and it's going to flow to TurboTax the same way Mint would because they're owned by the same company. So just to mention that, it still exists old school wise. It does now have an app to where you can go and link in the desktop and the app and be able to look whenever you wanted to. And it is on sale right now. So one quick question, every dollar, is it free? It does have a free version, but none of us are going to use the free version because the free version does not pull in any information from banks. So to get information into every dollar, you would have to manually type in and hit enter every single transaction that you spent. So you get a free 15-day trial of the Plus, and believe me, they push it hard. You're going to see it every screen you click on, and you will end up trying it because you're going to get very tired of entering your transactions by hand. And then with the Plus, you're talking $100 a year. So just to give you what that's really going to look like is definitely the way it's going to work. Okay. So let's see. To jump back into questions, and I know I saw a lot go on with folks wanting to jump into couponing and being overwhelmed and wanting to start a stockpile. So what is around the money that I should budget to do so? So Christy, that is a great question, but a hard one to answer. And I knew somebody would ask it tonight. So I always kind of get a general, form of that question. Sometimes it's we're a family of 4. How much should we be spending on groceries? Or we're a family of 7. That looks different for every single family. You eat different things. So for us, I can tell you how it looks in our world. We eat pretty basic meals. We eat a meat, a starch, and a veggie most nights. We try to stick gluten-free, so we don't do a lot of extra breads. Our starch is usually going to be a potato, a rice. Occasionally it's pasta, but very, very occasionally. And our veggie is usually either a canned veggie or a bag of like frozen Green Giant veggies or fresh from our produce box that I've shared in the past too. So for us, our grocery budget is then looking in the $50 to $70 a week range, not including our produce. So someone always mentions that. So our produce basket is $25 for our huge laundry basket. That I don't factor in, but that is for 2 weeks. So if we were to add that in, then we're spending really $62.50 to $82.50 once we add in the produce basket split out by weeks. That is a general glimpse of our whole budget, and we're probably more to the $62.50 side. Now, that's for a family of 7. Can you live on that? Probably not. If you're just getting started, that would be crazy hard for you to live on. So I don't want to try to set some very high expectation. What I would say, if you're just getting started on couponing, you're looking at your budget and how much you spent on groceries last month, let's just try to say from the start, let's try to cut that in half. If you spent $900 on groceries last month, let's try hard to cut that to $450, which really, that's going to be like $112 a week. That should be doable. To me, that sounds like we could go eat steak and lobster every night. But we're all different again, and we're all eating different things. So 112 may sound crazy hard for you, but once you get into couponing, I think you're going to see how far that money is going to go. So let's start with that goal of like, let's just cut it in half. Let's not set a number. Let's just try to cut it in half. And then let's go from there if we can whittle it down further. So hopefully that answers your question. Do I buy items just because I have a coupon? I have a habit of doing that and end up spending more money. So what do I say to set at that spending limit? So Jonathan, there's a few things you can do that I would recommend on groceries. First, if I'm buying things because they're cheap and I plan to donate them, I would recommend, if you have that donation in mind, that we set a limit on what I will grab that is just for donation. So maybe you say, you know what, I'm not going to get it if it's more than 50 cents. If it's less than 50 cents, I will definitely grab it and donate it. But if it's more than 50 cents, I've got to make sure we can eat first, and then we will maybe add in some donations if that fits in the budget. But 50 cents or more is really not going to be included. I'm not going to automatically think about adding that to the grocery shopping list. So we set a cap on what I'm willing to grab that I don't need, that I'm just grabbing to donate. And then I would recommend that you set an overall cap on what you're wanting to spend on your groceries. So that's coming down to just creating that grocery budget in the first place, and trying to stick with it. And then once you've hit it, so again, for us, once I've hit that 50 to 70 bucks in the grocery store, we're done. We're going to go home. There's no more to spend. Yes, the bag of sugar may be $1 today, but I really have enough sugar in the pantry. It's things like that. Just kind of setting that limit for you that you're okay with walking away on. And it really is going to be important. So I saw someone chime in and say, Dave Ramsey classes were worth their weight in gold. I 100% agree. So I don't want anyone to think when I say that every dollar is super expensive that Dave Ramsey is not worth his weight in gold, because what he teaches is amazing. And I think that going to the financial peace classes and having that accountability is huge. My only bit would be maybe not starting out with every dollar, but maybe starting out with a free system or a different system rather than paying the extra 100 on top of that. Okay, so to jump into other questions, Miss J says, any tips for getting a credit card for travel reward perks? So what I would say in general in picking credit cards is let's look at what you're already using. So we already use Marriott a ton. We were loyal for years when we did a lot of traveling for workshops. And because of that, we earned platinum status, lifetime platinum status with Marriott, which means you get a lot of really fun free perks. Like when I was out in San Diego a few weeks ago, we got concierge level, which gave us free breakfast, free snacks, hors d'oeuvres. So we would start there, we'd eat hors d'oeuvres, and then we'd just go get a salad for dinner. We were able to eat so cheap because of that. So perks can be huge, but going ahead and getting that rewards credit card along with that only ups the points. So we're earning Marriott points faster than we can spend them. Sometimes it feels like we just need to take more vacations. It's really what it is. We don't take any. But look at what you're using and let's get a card around that. I always recommend if you fly at least once or twice a year that you have a credit card for the airline that you fly on as well, because even if I just use it to buy that ticket, I'm going to get free luggage and I'm not going to have to pay for my luggage. And some folks will say, yes, but that's only 25 bucks. That's 25 bucks if you want to leave your luggage in the city that you just traveled to. it's really $50 because you got to pay to bring it home if you don't have the credit card. So when you look at it that way, if I flew twice a year, a free credit card that's going to give me free luggage on my flight, that's really $100 worth of savings right there. And that I get to take something with me. I don't have to live in the same set of clothing the whole time I'm there. And for us to travel, we don't really take our whole family anywhere, but even when my husband and I went to San Diego, we still took a massive suitcase for 2 people. So I don't know. Something about being restricted to a little tiny carry-on just stresses me out. So those would be my main focuses on travel rewards. Also look for perks in terms of the original sign up. Are they offering just a huge incentive? I know recently United was offering like 70,000 miles. That's enough for almost 3 inside the United States plane tickets. Just to sign up for their card. What I would stay away from are cards that have an annual fee unless that annual fee is going to end up paying for itself in the end. So an example, our Marriott card that we have, and I posted this and some people just flipped out, but our Marriott card does have an annual fee, but you got to hold up before you focus on that and you flip out. I want to say it's like an $85 annual fee, but with that we get 2 free nights in any Marriott hotel that is a category 5 or less, which category 5 is a pretty sweet hotel. So that's 2 nights. That's really $40 a night. And we're going to use that. So you have to look at how much that annual fee is before you just say no on some of those, because some of them really do end up paying off in the end. Most of them, though, I would always say don't do an annual fee. But just to, say that there are some exceptions to that rule. So when trying to pay off my credit cards, should I pay off the smaller balances? So that is Dave Ramsey's way of looking at it. From a financial standpoint, it is not always the best way to look at it. So Dave would say, yes, you always pay off the smaller balances first because that's going to give you that, yay, I did it. I paid off a credit card, and it's going to give you the motivation to pay off the next one. The downside is that you got to look at the interest rates here. And Dave doesn't do that. Dave wants to assume that no one wants to look at the finances behind it. They just want the instant gratification of paying it off. But if we're talking a credit card with a 10% interest rate and a credit card with a 30% interest rate, we got to deal with the 30% one long before we deal with the 10% one. Another example might even just be down to your mortgage. Are we talking, I've got a car loan that is at 7%, or I have a mortgage at 3.5%, and you've got extra money. Where do I want to put that extra money? It needs to be the car loan and not the mortgage, because the car loan is at 7% or whatever number I just made up. So that is one where I would differ on Dave. Dave and we don't always agree on a lot of things. I just told you to go get a credit card for travel perks. He wouldn't tell you that either. But I think in the end, if you're being responsible, we're still all on the same page. It just depends on what you need. Do you need the instant win? Then yeah, let's pay off the smaller balances. Is your goal in the end to kind of have more money in your account? Then long term, paying off the higher interest rate is always the better option. Let's see. Rachel, our $50 to $70 grocery budget, it does include personal care and household. It includes everything that I spend. I do not have that. I think it would be a little too much of a stressor. It does not include my husband's Tractor Supply budget, which is like getting chicken food and things that the horses may need. So we do live on a farm. He does a very good job of saving in his own little way. But for me, it is everything that the people in the household need. So all of our personal care is coming from CVS, and we pay next to nothing for those items. And then household cleaning supplies are usually also a CVS purchase, Rachel, or going to be super cheap in the grocery stores. And we're kind of on paper good restrictions right now because when I get home, I throw them up on top of a cabinet in the room right next door to me. And the top of the cabinet is completely full. So no buying paper towels or toilet paper right now because there's nowhere for it to go. I tend to get a little excited when I see super good deals, and then I gotta tone myself back a little bit. But yes, that is our total budget for every single thing. Sandy says, can I clip my coupons and print later, or will I lose them? So Sandy, here is what I would recommend you do. If we're talking coupons.com, I would recommend that if, whether you're on the Southern Savers page for that or wherever you're printing them, that you use Chrome as your web browser, because it will let you save them to a PDF and then you can print them later because you technically have printed them. They're on your computer and I can print them when I get a chance. Now, if you're going to go that route though, you've got to be honest and you can only print one copy. Don't make multiple copies of the PDF, even though you have it, because then you're making copies of the coupon. But that way you have them and you don't have to lose them right away. So if I'm traveling or I'm on the road, it's a great way for me to grab a coupon that I'm worried may be gone by the time I got home. I didn't have to worry about it. I still have it. Off topic, I'm looking for a laptop that is inexpensive. Do you have any suggestions? So I don't know if you're going to wait, but that would be my first suggestion, is to try to wait until July when back to school seasons start up. It's the first full week in July, but that's the best time of the year to grab a laptop, and this isn't it. Now, if you can't wait, the one site that I normally recommend and wholeheartedly would be DellRefurbished.com. All one word, DellRefurbished.com. They sell Dell laptops crazy cheap. They're always running really good coupon codes. We've gotten 2 for our older girls that I want to say we paid less than like $120 for. And they've been great little laptops. So, I don't know what your budget is or if you're wanting brand new, but that would be where I would point you to. Let's see. Last week, I used the CoverGirl BOGO at CVS, and I also clipped the 6 off 2 CoverGirl in the CVS app. After getting home, I realized that the $6 coupon did not come off my purchase. Should I have been able to use both? So, Andrea, when we're talking CVS coupons, let me just open up my CVS app. And my phone has decided, by the way, that we should all go to bed. It is on night mode, so it might look a little funny. But inside the CVS app, you have a couple of options. So when we're looking at CVS coupons, you've got these guys that look kind of boring. They are just white squares. These are my extra care bucks, but you're also going to have a lot of CVS coupons that fit like that too. Sorry, I get a lot of extra care bucks right now. So when we get to here, like all of these guys, they aren't loaded. I can click this little button. It's going to load them all to my card, but these are all store coupons. So if this is what your 6 off 2 CoverGirl look like, then yes, you should have been able to use it with your BOGO, but I don't think that's the one you're talking about. I think what you're probably talking about is when you kept on going. I get a lot of store coupons right now. Sorry, don't get jealous. I think what you're probably talking about are these guys. So when we have a picture on it, this is really a manufacturer's coupon. And I can load that CoverGirl coupon. I even have it in mine. So I can load that 6 off CoverGirl, but I can't use it with another manufacturer's coupon. I can use one or the other, or I can buy 4 CoverGirl items, but I can't use them on the same ones because if they've got a picture and they're all fun, they are manufacturer coupons versus, to go back up, these guys with no picture, they're just super boring. They may even say manufacturer on them, but they're really just store coupons. So these I can use with another coupon, but not the others. Hopefully that helps. Is it worth signing up for a hotel rewards program if you only go to spend the night with them less than a handful of nights? Erin, I would say yes. I mean, you're talking about something that's super simple. I link it to, my credit card. I link it to my name. It's going to pull up and automatically remember you with your phone number. You're not going to have to do any thinking here, but you are going to earn some points. And as long as you're staying in that hotel chain, even I think for some of them, it's every other year. They don't expire for 2 years. I know that's Marriott's. You would probably have earned a decent amount over a period of time. So, I would highly recommend if there's a rewards program to join, that you join it. The same for anything else we're buying. For folks that are in diaper mode, Huggies and Pampers, you should be a part of their point system. You're buying them all the time. You should get the rewards for buying them. CVS has a rewards program in a sense for getting hair coloring. Whatever it is that you're getting, you should be a part of it if the program exists. Yes. So one other thing on the credit cards, to kind of answer the earlier question too on, which one, the smaller balance or the, higher interest rate. Don't forget too that you could potentially look for some credit card options that are offering, 0% on transfers for the next 24 months. And we could consolidate some of these cards into one. And that might, solve the whole who do we follow, Dave or not Dave. If it's just one credit card, we've got 0% interest for 24 months or whatever we can get on it. That's a huge motivation too. Now, if your credit score is already kind of tattered, you're going to have a hard time getting approved for that one. But if it exists and you need to pay down some balances, that is a huge opportunity to do that with no interest being paid while you pay down those balances. Shay, yes. So no, none of the buy lows in Columbia are closing. All of the Harveys in Columbia are closing. So we didn't talk about this last week, guys, but Buy Low, Winn-Dixie, Harveys, they did announce early last week 94 stores that they're closing around the Southeast, and they posted a full list of those. You just need to look and see kind of what's in your neck of the woods. There's a lot of Winn-Dixies closing in kind of rough areas in Florida. A chunk of Harveys in South Carolina are all closing. I know all the Buy Lows in the Charleston area are closing. I think just Lowe's Foods moving in and Harris Teeter moving in. Those Buy Lows in the Charleston area are kind of suffering. So those are the ones that are the big areas that are losing out. But we're just losing Harveys in the Columbia area. And honestly, for me, we drive past a Harveys every time we go to town, and I haven't been in it in years. So not one that I'm even going to miss. Lori, the best time to buy a prepaid cell phone. I don't know that we see any massive sales anytime. There was a Ibotta for Straight Talk recently, which was a new one to me. Straight Talk is through Walmart. So I can check and see if that one's still there, but I saw that pop in over the weekend. So that would be one option if you do use the Ibotta app that you check and see if you've got that still. And if you've not ever used it, you can search in the top. So searching for the word straight, we'll see what we get here in a second. But they don't tend to run a lot of discounts and a lot of sales for the prepaid cards. So, and it's not pulling up for me. So hopefully you will have it in yours if it is still out there. How do I earn so many extra care bucks? So William, for me, I've been paperless for a long time, which I don't recommend anyone do. And with that, it's really hard to do multiple transactions like I would normally recommend that you do. So you would buy items, you would use extra care bucks, get extra care bucks, buy some more items. When you go and you have your extra care bucks loaded to your app, you can't do that anymore because it takes a little bit of time for them to load in, and you've got to wait while you're waiting for your extra care bucks to get in the app. And just long term, it's going to drive you crazy. So for me, I now buy things in one big transaction. I earn my extra care bucks for buying them, and then I use all of those the next time I come in. So currently in my CVS app, I think I have $39 in extra care bucks. Some of that is also from Beauty Club rewards. Yep, I got $39 in extra care bucks. So when you're buying your free CoverGirl and all the makeup, you're still earning those Beauty Club rewards back, even though you didn't spend a dime. So some of that is also adding into the totals as well. But it's focusing on the deals that are making you money. And it's focusing sometimes on deals that I may not even need, but I'm going to donate them because I'm getting paid $1 or $2 to buy mouthwash or something like that, which we have a ton of. Let's just donate it, but let's take the moneymaker because it's adding to our extra care pile. Let's see. Wendy wants an example for chewable calcium deals. So Wendy, I would probably focus on the drugstores on that one. But we do see Tums on a regular basis on sale. We got some good Tums coupons about a week ago. I would really use the item search there and just search by brand. Tums, Rolaids, whatever it is that you're looking for. But the item search on Southern Savers is going to help you be able to spot whatever those individual deals are that you're wanting a little bit better. And it's going to depend on, I guess, the store you're in as well. So, if we're talking Harris Teeter, Super Doubles, Tums got a $1.50 coupon. That's a sweet deal all by itself. But a lot of times you're going to be in a drugstore for that one. Okay, so Bonnie says, I hope I'm not too badly off topic. 2 weeks ago, you gave us newbies a one-step task at CVS, the Colgate toothpaste, and that was so helpful. Are there any other one or two things that you could get? And do I recommend the extra care bucks digitally or in paper form? So Bonnie kind of just mentioned that one. So no, I do not recommend that you get your extra care bucks digitally. The reason for that, with extra care bucks digitally, and I don't know if you can read it on my phone or not, but you can see the little circle that says on card, on card, on card. When you get your extra care bucks digitally, you have to remember to come in here and load every single one of them to your card within 7 days. And if you forget that, they expire. Now, extra care bucks don't expire for 30 days, but if I don't load them within 7 days, they're gone. So if you can't remember to do that, you need to stay paper. You'll be very frustrated at losing your extra care bucks in a week. And who opens an app after you leave a store? So it's a really bad concept on CVS's part. I have told them that a ton of times. But I don't think they have any plans on changing it. So that is one where I recommend highly that everyone stay paper, Bonnie. In terms of heading into CVS this week and doing one particular deal, let me see. I can pull up the list and try to let you give you an idea. I know there is a good deal on Garnier. If you have that $2 coupon, it did end this past week. But with the $2 coupon, Garnier comes out to be 50 cents a piece. That's probably where I would go. We've got more free toothpaste next week. If you want to hold out for next week, you could do that one. But I'm skimming really quick. This isn't my week for CVS, so it tells you how much it's not in my head. I tend to only go to CVS once a month just to keep my extra care bucks current. And this isn't that week. So I probably would go Schick razors, because we've got a lot of printable coupons right now for Schick razors, or I would go with the Garnier hair care. So those would be the two things that I would focus on as deals. If you were wanting to run in this week, Bonnie, and grab things, those are the ones that I would grab. And Paige, you've got 30 days. So an extra care buck is good for 30 days after the purchase. Hopefully, if you remembered to load it, but definitely 30 days if you printed it. Is there a date that they're closing all the Harveys and the Bi-Los? Sasha, I saw some people say that their Harveys had told them 6 weeks. So that's probably what I would be looking for. And someone else asked really early on, are there any deals at the Toys R Us's and the Babies R Us's? I don't know with all of these stores closing that you're going to see a massive amount of deals when they close, because in general, when we see these huge liquidations, we tend to see them sell off all their big supply to other stores because they can get a much better price for it than they can get to the actual retail customer. So I think the same is going to happen in the Bi-Lo Harvey side, and we're going to just see a lot of that inventory just shipped to other stores rather than it all being marked down. Chewable, I got you, Natum. Sorry, my brain was going to other kinds of calcium there, Wendy. So BOGO vitamins is probably where I would go, and it's what someone else chimed in too. So lots of vitamins are always buy one, get one. And the route that I would look for, Publix has 2 different vitamin coupons that are good through Friday, a 6 off 2 and a 5 off 2 for different brands, both of which we just got printable coupons for that are manufacturers. So I would be using that Publix coupon along with 2 manufacturers coupons. You're going to save $8 off 2 or $7 off 2, and that's just off those 2 brands on anything that they sell. So I would be looking at that. So that's Nature's Bounty and Sundown. But then remember to use them somewhere else. So for example, Bi-Lo has Sundown vitamins, buy one, get one starting Wednesday. So Wednesday to Friday, you've got a pretty sweet deal using that Publix 5 off 2, using manufacturers, and using the Bi-Lo BOGO. Now, I don't know what stores you have in your neck of the woods, Wendy, but if you did, that would be the route that I would be looking at. And Rachel, no, not all Winn-Dixies, just some Winn-Dixies are closing. And that's really just checking the list to see what stores in your area are closing, and just Google that one because you will pull up a number of news sites that have all posted that list. So if I have a buy one, get one coupon, am I allowed to use another coupon for the free item? This weekend we got a BOGO Hydro 5 razor coupon and also a $3 off. So Sasha, 5 years ago, I would have said yes. Now, no. So when we're dealing with, I always look around. I feel like printable coupons should be everywhere in my house. But when we're dealing with a printable coupon now, we no longer have a traditional old school barcode. We've got that data bar that's a double layer crazy barcode, but it's really called a data bar. And it tracks you across everything that you're grabbing. So it will fully attach to both items on that buy one, get one coupon. And if I turn around and I try to use a $3 coupon with it, the $3 coupon will beep. So a long time ago, yes, you would have been able to use a second coupon on that second item, but now you can't. So you're going to need to grab a third razor if you wanted to use the $3 off on top of it. And that buy one, get one, keep in mind, I'm pretty sure is a free razor when you buy the refills, and the refills aren't cheap. So you could possibly have a better option of using two $3 offs depending on the value of the razor that you're grabbing. Stephanie, is it possible to go back to print extra care bucks after you've gone digital? I would love to say yes, Stephanie, but at the bottom of this long screen on CVS, there's a button, and it says, I don't know if you can read that, but it says get paper offers again. It doesn't work. You can click it 1,000,000 times. It doesn't work. You can call corporate. It doesn't work. So once you go digital, you're always digital. So don't do it. And I made that decision. I've been digital now for a couple of years. There's no undoing it. But yeah, you may not like that, but that's what I've found to be the case anyway. So buy price, a good price on a Brother printer, I would be aiming for probably $85 or less. We definitely will see them even cheaper than the $85 mark, Miss J, but not more than that. Maybe $89.99 if we wanted to stretch it, but not more. That said, and I'm talking about just a printer. So if we're talking about the one that can scan and make copies and whatnot and has all of that, yes, maybe paying the $100 for one that's a multi-function printer would be worthwhile, but a just typical printer, not necessarily. And in terms of the Wi-Fi side, you want to look for the Brother HL 2340 or higher. So the 40, the 50, the 60, they're all Wi-Fi compatible. They're all going to let you print from your phone, but don't go with the 2320. You want to be 2340 or higher. So hopefully that will help you get the right one. Is it better to wait until back to school for the Brother printer? We usually actually, Paige, see the printer on sale once a month at Staples or Office Depot, and we always see Amazon price match it. But we've also lately seen some really great deals on refurbished models from Amazon. So just keeping your eyes open. We see the best prices, lowest prices on Black Friday. I don't know that you need to hold out that long. And we're really talking about probably a $5 to $10 difference between now and Black Friday when you catch it on sale. So I don't know that you would need to, go crazy long for that $5 savings. Yes. And Shanna is mentioning, if I wanted to go all the way out with the CVS Extra Care Bucks, I could completely close my CVS account, get a new account, start using a different card to go back to getting printed Extra Care Bucks, which is a long step to do. I don't want to do that for one big reason for me. Two reasons actually. Y'all saw me skim. I've got a ton of CVS store coupons because it's tracking everything that I've bought. So in terms of store coupons, I can sit here and just keep on scrolling. Those are all store coupons just waiting in my CVS app. And now I've hit the manufacturer's coupon. I don't want to go back to having none, but also I have a white CVS card. And you may not have heard of this. It's like a magical thing that comes in the mail. But a white CVS card gives you 20% off CVS house brand healthcare related items forever. And I wouldn't want to lose that. So there are moments when you just really have to have something and it's not on sale. We all have those moments, but that's an automatic 20%. But sometimes those items are also printing Extra Care Bucks. So I'm going to get the 20% off and the Extra Care Bucks. So I wouldn't want to undo my white card by any means. So Bren says, what do I mean by printing multiple copies of saved coupons? So Bren, what I was saying is if we're using Chrome as our browser, Chrome actually pulls up that print preview screen and it will allow you to save it to a PDF. I only do that when I'm not right at a printer. But now that I have it as a PDF, I need to be honest and I need to stick with just printing one copy of those coupons, just like it would have done if I had sent it direct to my printer. Because if I print more, then everything that I've printed is really a copy. And there's a little tiny barcode up in the top corner, and that barcode needs to be different on every single coupon. If it's not, you've made a copy. So that's what that means. Diana, did I enjoy my night in a tent? Woo! Well, let's say about 4 a.m. I put in some earplugs and I slept really great from then on. But up until 4 a.m., I did a lot of laying there. I did a lot of praying and not a lot of sleeping. But hopefully we will get caught back up on our sleep soon. Have I had any issues with stores not accepting coupons that aren't in color? I have not, Barbara. And most of those printable coupons in their fine print actually say that it's okay for them to be in black and white. What I would do if you've got a store that's doing this, actually, I have printable coupons on the kitchen counter. Would you bring me them? We'll put my husband to work. But what I would recommend, Barbara, when you go into the store, is showing them different coupons, like kind of holding them up in front of them, a few of them at a time, if that's the case, and proving to them that those little tiny barcodes are different. So I will give you some examples here, but looking at these guys, I've got my $2 Garnier ready to go, but this little barcode up here is what I'm talking about. It's different on every single coupon. So if we started to compare these, or if I made a copy, then that Garnier little tiny barcode is now the same. And it's not going to work. So it's proving to them on that one. But I'm pretty sure it used to always be in all of these. I'm getting old and I feel like I need readers now just to look at that little tiny print. But I'm not seeing it, but hopefully that will help. Holding that up, proving to them this barcode is different on every single one, is enough. A lot of times kind of giving them some education to be able to tell what is a copied coupon and what is not a copied coupon. But that's kind of our goal. And usually that little tiny barcode is different on every single one of them is enough to do the case. Aaron, it's not a unicorn CVS card. So it's based on who your health insurance is. And it does come in the mail. No one really knows where it comes from though. So if you call CVS and you say, I want a white card, they'll treat you like you have 3 heads. And if you call your insurance company and say, I want a white CVS card, they don't know what you're talking about. But it's through that. So we don't even have it anymore, but we used to have Blue Cross Blue Shield, and it was through our Blue Cross Blue Shield. But you can consider it a unicorn CVS card if you want. Is it the back to school computer deals? Are they only on laptops? Best Buy told us that when you were in the store. So first off, Shanna, Best Buy does not have very good laptop deals. Staples is going to win hands down on all of the computer deals that are out there. Like 99.9% of the time, Staples will always win. And Staples will have some desktops that are on sale, but yes, probably about 80% of the deals that we see are laptops. People just aren't buying desktops anymore. They're buying laptops. And so that's what the store is putting on sale more and more. That said, if you head to Dell Refurbished, I know they have desktops and laptops. So if you are still wanting the desktop, I would probably look at that going online. So Sasha, it's not a health card. This is an actual CVS card. So now I can send my husband for another errand. But I don't ever know what I did with it. I just need my purse, and then I can show them my CVS key tag. But it's an actual CVS card. It's got the barcode on the back and it's white. So I'll show it to you in just a second when he goes and finds my purse somewhere in the house. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I come in and we just deal with the kids and we just drop things wherever we might be. Let's see. Oh, if your store wants to see the bubbles in the upper right-hand corner of the coupon, you can try increasing contrast. So what she's talking about there is on the expiration date, and I don't know if I can even get that close enough, but you can see the little tiny bubbles. That is also part of the way to keep it from looking like it's been copied. Okay, I can find it. Oh, you stole it. You're finding my keys. My husband stole my CVS card. It's on his keychain. I'm sending him off to find mine. I've been using my CVS app all this time since he stole my CVS card. But I can show you. Yeah. That's it. Oh, yeah. Well, so this is what it looks like. This is a white CVS card from Blue Cross Blue Shield. It is not just in South Carolina. It exists all over the place. And then it has an actual CVS barcode on the back and tells you about the extra care system. So it's not like your prescription card, if that makes sense. It is a CVS extra care card. Hopefully that makes sense. And I guess it does have the word health, if that was what your question was. But again, it's not my prescription card. It's not linked to anything like that. And we don't even have the insurance anymore. So we're still getting the discounts because of that. Sorry if I've already covered this. Ooh, come back. I'm having problems with stores not being able to scan my printables. Is it a printer problem? So Marlana, I would say yes. And that's another one where I encourage most folks to switch to a laser printer. The barcodes on a laser printer are incredibly sharp. I don't ever have issues with these printing. They always print in stores. And that would be where, in the end, not only are you saving money, not having to buy ink for an inkjet printer, but you're saving a lot of frustration in that your coupons are always working. Okay, we're over on time. I know in terms of budgeting, we really got jumped into questions, which is fine. I always try to bring a topic to fill the void. But if you were hanging around to get budgeting help, I will say we've done a lot of videos just on budgeting, so I can put in some links where we've gotten a little further, and maybe that'll help you too. But the big thing is the forms that we put in the comments, and I can stick them in again if that will help you to spot them towards the top of the comments, starting with the basic form if you want to. We don't have to spend any money to have a budget. And then Mint. At least start with Mint, which is free, and get a feel for how this is going to work for you. See if you're going to do a good job of at least trying to keep up with it on a regular basis. Let's get our income in there. Let's get what we're spending in there so we can get a feel of what's happening. And even if you just have a bad month, it can be a great way to get yourself back on track. I know earlier, I think it was Jeannie saying, just to see how much you spent on eating out. That was us. We got into just a time where life was really crazy and we were eating out way more than we needed to. And so we kind of went cold turkey on that. We're going to eat everything from home. We're not going to eat out at all. That was a chunk to be able to bring back into the budget and no longer do, because you have control over those categories. You may not want to have control over them, but you do. And so that's the reason to really get your finances nailed down into some of those categories. Maybe not even every month. Let's just, try for a little bit. But that's the reason that it's really going to help you kind of come in and get a feel for what's going on and a feel for what you can fix quickly. Oh no, so Tina says she got a CVS card and didn't know what it was. If you get this in the mail, do not throw it away because no one knows where to get another one from. Again, CVS won't help you. Your insurance won't help you. So hopefully you can find this, Tina, because it is, as Erin said, it's like the unicorn CVS card, but it's a pretty fun one. And the regular CVS card is red. That is what a normal CVS card looks like. Should we get the new CVS card? Evelyn, you're only going to get the weight one if it comes in your mail. It's just from your health insurance company. It's just going to randomly show up one day. It's like you won the lottery. But all the rest of us are just going to have the red one, and you're just going to be okay with the red one. That would be the route that I would, just stick with what you got for now. How many coupons can you print with different barcodes? So Bren, most of these, like these are all coupons.com, are going to be a limit of 2 per computer. So I could print 2. I could pop over on my husband's laptop and print 2. I can print 2 from my phone. Keep in mind, a little huge tip here. Coupons.com in particular now makes you verify with a phone number. So it's going to send you a text message Do not verify each device with the same phone number, or you will only be allowed 2. Period. So make sure that you're verifying one laptop with one phone number, you're verifying, whatever you've got, that we're using a different phone number and getting a different text message for each one of those. That is huge. Oh, there we go. So Sasha found the link for you. Again, it is going to be related to what your health insurance is through. So if you switch over, I don't know that you're going to be eligible to switch, but that's interesting that you found this. You did a good job in digging to locate it. I'll look it up too and see what our options are, but that is the white card. If you're able to be part of it, you should do it. And thanks for sticking that link in there, Sasha. Okay, I am going to pop off. I do want to tell you guys, I would to join me if you can tomorrow at 2:30. It's going to be a timed one, so I'm going to pop in at 2:30. Talking about a new app that we've been using that will save you on places around town, but it's also like mystery shopping. So I didn't want to use our Q&A for that. Just going to be popping in to kind of talk about that app and explain it, and have been working with the folks that have designed it. So wanted to share it with you guys. So that is tomorrow at 2:30, and then Wednesday, sharing all the deals that we got in the grocery store. I don't know if you've already looked. The Publix ad is already up. It is massive. It is running through, I want to call it like Easter Eve. It's going to end on March 31st. It's a 10-day Publix ad, but a huge amount of BOGO deals in that Publix ad that's already up. The buy low ad I will have up later tonight. So I will pop in on Wednesday and share all the deals that we grabbed too. Wendy, the BOGO catch-up, Barbie said she couldn't get it to print, maybe a software issue. So I know I got mine too. I don't know if it's still out there, but it is in the database, Wendy. So if you go to the coupon database on Southern Savers and just type in Heinz, you'll find a BOGO catch-up coupon, and then CVS had the catch-up deal. So that is where we wanted to go. I want to say that deal ended last week, though. I may have looked at it incorrectly. But that was the running deal for CVS, was buy 2 and get a $1 extra care buck using the BOGO coupon. They came out to 75 cents a piece. Okay, I'm going to pop off. Y'all have a great night, and I will talk to you tomorrow if you can hop in and join me. Thanks for joining me tonight, and I will talk to you next week if I don't see you tomorrow.